friends, so I wanted to go over using partial products to multiply two-digit numbers, and I wanted to be able to use my smartboard, but I had to kind of MacGyver it a little bit to make it work. So hopefully you'll be able to hear me and everything will work out fine. I did a test, it seems good, so here we go. So it's a little different this video, but I do want you guys to have access to this. So for this problem, we are multiplying 24 times 13. Now remember, first we just want to deal with that 3 times the 24. So we could even go ahead and pretend like that 1 doesn't exist. And I'm going to pull it out for now, just to kind of show you how we could pretend that the 1 does not exist. And then the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do partial products of 3 times 24. So I'm going to do the 3 times the 4. So we can go ahead and write that. So we'd have 3 times 4. And we get 12, so I'm going to go ahead and write my 12. And then after we do that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the 3 times the 20. Remember, even though that number there is a 2, the value of that number is 20. So we're going to do the 3 times the 2, but it's really 3 times 20. So I'm going to write that down, and then we're going to use our zero trick. 3 times 2 is 6, and I'm adding on that 0. So I get 60. So far we've done 24 times 3 or 3 times 24. Now we're going to bring this 1 back in. And now we have to multiply that 1. But remember, it's really a 10 because it's in the tens place. So we're going to multiply that times 24. So watch how we're going to do this. We're going to move these bubbles out of the way. And now what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and we're going to multiply that 10 times 4. Remember, it's really the value is 10. We're going to do 10 times 4. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that 10 times 20. So again, just to make sure you understand what happened, first what we did was 3 times 4 and 3 times 20. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do 10 times 4 and 10 times 20. One more time, my friends. So the first thing we did was we did 3 times 4 and 3 times 20. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do 10 times 4 and 10 times 20. So let's go ahead and let's do that 10 times 4. So I'm going to do 10 times 4, and that's a fast fact. We all know that that's just 40. So I'm going to write that in. And then the last thing that we're going to multiply is we're going to do that 10. So this is going to be that purple little oval. So we're going to do 10 times 20. Remember, that 2 up top has a value of 20. It does not have a value of just 2. It has a value of 20 because it's in the 10 spot. And 2 tens is 20. So if I multiply these, I can either use my knowledge of 10, that 20 times 10 means 20 with a 0. Or I could use my zero trick. I could say 1 times 2 is 2. And then I have to add on those 2 zeros. Whichever way your best way is, you do it. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write down that 200. And now I'm going to do that last step. So let's go ahead and let me do that last step. So let me just go ahead and change this up. And the last step is to add all the partial products. So we did it in parts or pieces. And now we add all those parts together to get the whole thing. And when I add together, I get 2 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 2. 1 plus 6 plus 4 is 11. And for some reason, I feel like I have something wrong here. I hope I don't. Oh, no, I made up a new number. And then I have 1 plus 2, which is 3. And so that should be your answer when you do this problem. So that's how we do it. I'm going to do another example. If you feel like you are awesome with this, then you do not have to continue watching. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do another example of this. So let me add a page for us. All right, so here we go. So let's go ahead and let's do 45 times 23. Okay, so we're going to do 45 times 23. So again, at first, we can pretend like that 2 isn't there, and we can do what we know. And what do we know how to do? We know how to do the 3 times the 5. And we know also we're going to do the 3 times the 40. But let me just first do the 3 times the 5. So we have 3 times 5, which is 15. And again, you guys know how to do this. We've been doing this for a while. And then the next one that we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to do the 3 times the 4, but remember the 4s and the 10s. If you put up 4 fingers and you count by 10s, 10, 20, 30, 40, so it's 40. Or if you said 45, so it's 40 and 5. So again, it's 3 times 40. So I'm going to do that, 3 times 40. And I'm going to use my zero trick. So I'm going to do 3 times 4 is 12. And I'm going to add on that 0. And I'm going to write that neatly. Please notice how I'm lining my numbers up carefully. 1s under 1s, 10s under 10s. All right. So now that we've done that, let's go ahead. Let's move these out of the way because we did the 3 times both numbers. Now let's bring that 2 back in. But remember, it's in the tens place. So the value of that 2 is 20. And now what we want to do is we want to do 20 times 5. And after we do 20 times 5, then we're going to do 20 times 40. The value of that 4 is that it's in the tens, so it's 40. So let's go ahead and do this. So again, let me show you. So the first thing that we did was we did 3 times 5 and 3 times 40. So we're done with that 3. So now what we're doing is 2 times 5 and 2 times 40. So here we go. So 2 times, oh, but it's not 2. It's 20. Look at that. So now, again, we're not doing 2 times. It's 20 times 5 and 20 times 40. So 20 times 5, we're going to use our zero trick. So 2 times 5 is 10. And then we add on that 0. So that's 100. I'm going to write it in. So that was the red oval, this one right here. And now we're going to do the purple one. So again, the value of that 2 is really 20, and it's going to be 20 times 40. And when I do that, I'm going to use my zero trick. So 2 times 4 is 8, and I have to add on my 2 zeros. And now I can write that 800 in. And then the last step is to put all those parts back together. We have to add them all back together. So 5 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 5. 1 plus 2 is 3. And 8 plus 1 plus 1 is 10. So I end up with 1,035 as my answer. All right, my friends, so I hope that this is helpful. And I hope this recording is clear. And I am going to post it immediately in our Google Classroom. I will see you there.